Y'all, so sorry. We had some technical difficulties. As you know, when you have equipment, that's what it does. But we are back, so we're going to restart this conversation. So, gentlemen, where were we at?
Well, he wanted to he highlighted some things that was getting cut in Milwaukee.
As a result of the bill.
As a result of the
bill.
The big beautiful bill that's
God,
you know what I'm saying?
Who talks like that?
You know, the big beautiful bill.
That's why I said Bill. I didn't want to get him worked up because I knew as soon as I said it, he was gone.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to be smooth tonight, but he just
I'm just
he's trying to push me here, but it's okay.
So there are going to be some organizations that will be affected by this big beautiful bill. Yes, it is. But there's also going to be a lot more people who benefit from this big beautiful bill.
In theory.
In theory,
until it work its way through, we got to say in theory.
I don't know.
We know for a fact that people are already losing money. That's factual.
Money
and job. But we know people are actually making
funding
money off of this bill as well.
That's fair. I give you that. I give you that.
So it's
where's the money going down to? Who's making the money though?
Who's making the money?
Yeah, who?
I mean, I'm making money with my own pocket.
With your
he said, I'm getting a couple extra dollars.
Like I told you before the last time, ain't no union member gonna talk bad about this bill, my guy. None.
So
they're not.
So here would be my question to that, right? Yeah. So there's a group of people who are going to benefit from this,
correct?
And there's a group of people who are obviously going to take a hit for it.
Yeah,
bad hit.
But in the grand scheme of it,
right.
do you believe that the people who benefit are going to subsequently improve the outcomes of those who are not benefiting from it?
Yes. And the reason why I say that because
in
the particular bill, right? You know what I'm saying? I work for multiple companies as the union. In order for these companies to get the benefit of that tax incentive, they got to invest a certain dollar amount into these businesses and hire. See, what people don't understand, rich people, they hire people to understand the tax code.
Absolutely.
Right, they understand the tax code, right?
Absolutely.
So so the facade when people say that the 1% are not paying their fair taxes, no one is going to change the tax code to where you give to a 501c, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say?
That right there.
You know, to get the smaller tax code, they're not going to change that, and that's really one of the key big benefits of individuals that are rich that give those money to their family foundation to get the smaller tax code. But that's what's in the tax code. So that's a facade that people keep talking about, the 1%. And then they want to always associate it with the Republican side. There's some rich Democrats too. You know what I'm saying? That don't want to pay taxes, right? Right, that don't want to pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's always go back to the conservatives and the Republicans that's only want their individuals to benefit when everybody was in that tax
because there's a party that overtly gets benefits and make sure that they keep getting those kind of benefits monetarily, squashing other people.
But I don't understand when you said monetary, they're getting those benefits. They're not going to the tax code. They're not going to change it.
But
Obama could have changed it. He didn't change it. Clinton could have changed it.
Taxes are supposed to trickle down to communities, neighborhoods, states, cities, et cetera, et cetera.
Correct.
If you're giving, to your point, the 1% money to then do the tax thing, and then they put it into the family, whatever, the money doesn't make it.
It does. It does because federal government doesn't create businesses. Rich people who has money create businesses. So they use the element of the tax codes to create business for individuals like no. So what federal place right now that people are working at right now besides the federal government? Walmart is
so I'll give you federal, but federal's going to follow it differently, right?
Right.
Like Amazon pays $0 in taxes a year.
Correct. How many people do Amazon hire?
Right.
So
but if you don't pay taxes and it doesn't work its way down so that you can improve the roads, the school systems. If you're doing everything that you can to make sure that you don't pay taxes, which let's be clear, it is a loophole to a degree. It's not like, oh, we built this school, so we ain't gotta. Nah, you reinvested in here and research and development, and you took a loss when really you didn't, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So at a certain point, the money's gonna get cut.
But I don't know about really taking that loss. But if
you gonna claim it as a loss, so you don't have to pay. You're gonna say, "Oh, we put $10 million in research and design, then we shut that project down because it wasn't viable, and we lost that $10 million." Right. Now we done took that same program, named it something else. It's still moving, but whatever, however you want to play it. But it's a game.
Right. It's always gonna be a game. It's like if you go sell your house and you make $150,000 on your house, you can roll that over to your new house without paying taxes on the money that you make.
Because you never actually touched it. You just rolled it from point A to point B.
So that's the bit. No, how's that loophole? It's loophole.
It's a loophole, but it's a tax code, right? That's what you're going to argue. It's a tax code. But at the end of the day, it's still a loophole to get you from not having to pay
everybody.
Tax.
But what I'm saying, like everybody benefits. If I have she has well. Right. So they got business. So they just created a business. So you create a business. Right. Hold on. You are creating a person. Hold on. A person businesses. Do you not think that they're not writing off the car, the gas, the heat?
So nobody's arguing that, and we're not mad at it, right? Because you have the right to do that.
But Amazon is a mega business that has millions of employees. You don't think they're writing that off? That's bringing down their tax code along with their.
No, we're not. No, I'm not. That's not the
art.
Like, no,
zero tax.
That's not the problem.
What's the problem?
The problem is, like you said, is that money's not trickling down to your communities.
Change the tax code.
That's the argument we're in right now. Right. But the loophole that you say in the loophole is the tax code. That's what the argument is.
How is that an issue when Wisconsin is sitting on $1 billion,
4.3 billion, 4.4 billion.
Yes, as a surplus.
And the legislator won't do nothing with the money. They don't let the government do nothing with the money. They got mad because Evers mad at Evers because he took money that we got from COVID and invested it in Black communities.
Yep.
Then they got picked.
Wait. What did he want to take the money in and invest it? Because
how dare you
give them the money?
How dare you give them a leg up?
No.
How dare you?
That
so
was
now they made all kind of different changes to the governor's power not to be able to do what he wanted to do with the money.
Show me that, because think about the city of Milwaukee, right? We got great leaders now in the city, right? So they
agree to disagree.
Negotiating.
Agree to disagree.
So they went to negotiate with the legislation to get that.
Leadership.
You said Milwaukee leadership went to go negotiate with Republicans,
and they got had.
How they got had to get more money and share revenue, right? So with that being said, the agreement. So you got to negotiate. So you know what? We give you the taxes if you put police officers in the school. It took how long?
But that's bullcrap.
Hold on. It took how's that bullcrap?
Why do you tell us? Why do you have to tell Milwaukee to put officers in the school?
Because the community and the teachers.
Don't say needed it. Don't say needed it. Don't say need.
No, they didn't.
Whoa. You don't need police officers.
No, the Teachers Association. Sir,
how many?
Hold up, sir. The Teachers Association in MPS that runs the Teachers Association, the union. They voted to not have resource officers in the school. They had them at one point in time and pulled them out.
Right.
They said, we do not want that in our communities.
Why?
We don't need resource officers in the community.
Why? Did you see the 13 and the 18, the 12 and the 30? If they fighting on the street and fighting each other,
what they doing in the
school? School? They're not doing it in the MPS. Did y'all not just see what happened at Brady Street?
I'm sure
you know how old they were.
I'm sure that's but you're not going out. You're not going to Oak Creek and Racine and Brookfield and those communities telling them, you need to put.
They got officers.
Okay,
let's officers in their
hold on a second. Let's take that, but let's extrapolate that a little bit, right? Because I made a post about this yesterday. On the subject, but off the subject, but we're in the same realm, right?
Let's go for it.
So we get on the line, we get on whatever we can get on when we want to be mad and upset and say, fuck the police. We don't want the police doing our neighborhoods. We need more people that look like us. We want representation. You sending these white people from over and here and there to police our neighborhoods. They don't know shit about us, right? Great. Okay, cool. Defund the police, all that shit,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah,
Whether you agree or not.
I don't agree with that at all.
But that's what we was
That's
because it sounded good.
Right.
Nobody researched it, but it sounded good.
Right.
This what we argued.
Right.
Cool. That's where y'all at.
Yeah.
Now, step one.
Right.
All right, the kids running them up. We need to implement a curfew. Somebody go grab a screenshot from the news 3 years ago, share it,
Go right.
go crazy.
I saw that.
But I'm not. But it created a conversation, right? Whether it was new or not, people were saying how they felt about this shit, which revealed a lot.
Yeah.
You want the same understaffed, under-resourced police officers that you just said you don't want your communities and touching your kid and doing your thing to now enforce a curfew, but you don't want them, right? Now, take that same concept. You was arguing you don't want resource officers in the school.
Right.
But now you want these same police officers, because they are MPD in the schools, to enforce this curfew, which is the same cops that you don't want in your neighborhoods and in your communities and doing the things.
I see where you're going there. Okay.
So I need somebody to help me, not even from the standpoint of what we're talking about in terms of the funding and where it goes, but just in a general concept of you need to pick a battle and stand on the battle.
Exactly.
Okay.
I agree.
And so with the resource officer argument of we didn't need them in there, well, according to the community, we didn't. According to NPS, we didn't. According to the parents, we didn't. But now we circle back to your point. Hey, we having a conversation about this tax money and how we going to allocate this money and what needs to happen and how we going to do it. The thing we choose to do in theory is we put people back in places that the community has already very publicly and very loudly said.
Correct.
We don't want this. What we do need is we need food, we need juice kitchens, we need healthy food options. We need all this shit.
We need our roads and stuff fixed.
But what you tell me is, hey, in order for this to happen, you need to do the one thing that everybody's already said. Hey, this really don't.
That's part of it there. And then you then you take hold on, bro. And then you take it, and then you taking MPD, you taking officers from the street that's need on the street, you putting them in schools. Right. Taking them off the street that they need to be they need to be on the beat, bro.
We got it. But the thing about it, I get with you on the beat. What we're trying to do is prevent the kids and dealing with the kids within the school element before they get on the street. Because you see what's happening on the street.
But you can't throw police out.
But what you mean? What
police out? I'm just
saying we tried everything else. It ain't getting better, it's getting worse. What you mean?
Can I interject?
Yes.
Oh, now you want to say something.
Now you want to interject, but like you said, the police, like we want.
I don't lose my thought there, though.
Go ahead.
I have a question. I have a question for you, and maybe partially you, these two, because you say you were partial. Over
right.
There. So, question: how do you think life would be if parents were able to be at home more with their children?
If they were
able to parent, if they were able to be at home more,
okay. I think
how would life be
going with this? Okay.
I would think, you know what? I would think that would be better, but parents gotta work. They got to.
Okay, let's keep rolling. You're right. You're right. Let's keep rolling.
Let's keep rolling. They gotta work.
They have to work. Right. You want them to work 1 billion hours to make an income.
What you mean 1 billion hours?
Listen.
Come on, you got 1 billion hours?
Who's going, man?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. You can't do that.
Our parents didn't work.
Hold on, let me finish the talk.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna come back. Like you know you got bullshit, right? Don't even do that.
No, come on.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be at home. You want people to be at home? We got people at home on welfare right now at home, and they still ain't working.
Asking if parents were able to
If
parents were able to make a real income that they can provide for their family.
Okay.
Still be a work-life balance is what I'm asking.
Okay.
That would make it better for everyone if people can parent their own children,
right?
Raise their own children,
right?
You are putting parents in a predicament where all they do is work.
Okay.
Nobody, if they aren't,
I want to answer this.
If people aren't paying their fair share, and you can't go back to back in the day because that's not.
No. What I'm going to right now.
If people aren't paying their fair share,
right,
and everybody's going to be greedy about it,
right,
just know there's going to be some sacrifices made.
Yes.
The sacrifices that are being made, unfortunately, are the children.
Right.
They don't have parents.
So let me go there. So let me go to your question. A lot of these individuals,
they are
already sitting at home already, not even working.
True.
That's not a lot, though.
What you mean?
That's not true.
Hold on. So systematically, right now, a lot of people are sitting at home right now.
That's not true.
How come it ain't true?
Because it's not true.
So wait. So you telling me that it's you telling me
you actually told us the first time you were here. I remember a fun fact you gave us. You told us that Black people aren't the majority that are on welfare.
Right.
So who are we talking about?
I put a race on him. I didn't say anything about color right now when I'm doing this color.
Color though.
No, I don't know.
Color.
No, I'm not
Bring
putting
it to the community and make it color.
I'm not putting a color element on it.
Who's working?
So what we can sit up here and
Who's
talk about?
overworked?
Well, hold on. So what I said when we talking about, because it's more single mamas out there, right? Because back in the day, it was mamas. It was mama and daddies, right?
I love this. I actually love this.
Hold on.
So
Let me do that.
So when you got a single mama
Mhm.
and she got 4 kids,
Got you.
and the baby daddy's not there, or the baby
Daddies.
daddy's in jag, babies, you know what I'm saying? And is incarcerated over there? That is the fundamental issue that's at hand, right? That's at hand. Because back in the day, I'm gonna go back in the day. Mama stayed at home with the kids, daddy went to work. It was the provider. That element was gone when you did the welfare system and you got rid of the kids. The kids was used to the mama just being at home and the daddy not being there. So when you talking about mama, parents need to be at home more.
Yes.
If she gonna stay at home and be on government assistance and not go work?
No,
there's no man in the household.
Let me get it.
There's no man.
Let me get it.
That is no man in the household. So it's making it seem like you're saying, like, okay, well, if the parents was there together with the kids, because I can tell you most times if it's a mama and daddy in the household, talking about a little bit better than when it's just a single mama that's not at home, because the streets raised me. You know, so my mama went there, she had to go work.
Okay.
So I went outside, the streets raised me. If my daddy was there, it would have turned out differently. So you have both parents in the household. That's the element of there. But when you only have one parent in the household, that's when it goes downhill from there.
Okay. Who want to take it first?
Go ahead.
No, I feel like you proved my point.
No, I didn't prove it. Well,
I feel like that.
No.
I don't know why you don't understand that people are being overworked and they're not able to parent their children.
Okay, so
when you say overworked,
I'm gonna take that because that's where I was gonna go. I'm gonna take that and expand on that.
Don't hear this.
Why are you acting like you don't know it?
So he just
no, you said overworked, like you go to work, like I got a 9 to 5.
So we gonna start.
You got a 9 to 5. Like
I need one. Anybody hire? Go
on. For a business owner, you are doing that. The business of overworking yourself and not being able to do kids.
So let's take your part and then we're gonna meet up to her part, right? So we go back in the day. Right. Your mom was at home, daddy was at work. Let's talk about the economics of what was happening at that point. You could make a living working one job and send your kids to school, have a house, and pay a car by working at A.O. Smith, working at Master Lock, working at Briggs.
That's why you did the terror.
Right?
So
to her point of being overworked, first and foremost, your dollar went extremely much further.
Correct.
Like in 1985, let's say 85, when I was born, I remember that still being like a thing, right? Like, yo, you could go like make an honest living and one person worked at Quad Graphics. And everybody had a Quad Graphics shirt at one point. But you was getting to. Right. 2 trucks.
There we go.
But you jump ahead 20 years, 30 years. That dollar ain't stretching the same. Now, the other thing was, and this is where this is my fear mongering for the day. In automation and AI,
right?
The biggest thing about automation and AI is not that it's going to replace jobs. It will, but it's not that it's just going to blanketly replace jobs. It's going to replace labor-intensive jobs. And labor-intensive jobs are where people who don't have a lot of education or skill set can still go make an honest living. So when you can't go, sell a burger, you can't go labor your way into, you can't go Red Star yeast it up, and make a living, that's where the problems come in. And that's why, to her point, parents are overworked because everybody's paying $12 an hour, $13 an hour with a master's degree.
I get that.
That fits in with a master's degree.
So all the jobs left.
So to her point of saying, like, parents are killing themselves working. Like, I had to take this reality check for myself, right? There are parents that I know who, removed from their choices, may have 2 or 3 kids, and they have become aware that maybe they didn't make the best choice, whether it be in parenting or the father or even single fathers, because we always go single parents. I have plenty of people who are single fathers.
My kids my boys live with me.
Right. So, but they're working 2 jobs, 3 jobs to keep the lights on, to keep the food in the house. They're not, to your point, on assistance, or they have a little bit of assistance to offset, but they're not milking the system because this is just my situation. And so when you fall into that place, the argument that you have, which I would argue at minimum, there's an equal amount of people who are trying to work their way out of their situation as there are people who are accepting that.
I agree.
You can't say, oh, the resource officers in the school, or they're taking advantage of the system, or the system, to the point of this topic and conversation night, is broken, because the people who are willing to, hey, I know I didn't go to college, but I'm willing to break my damn back to make sure I can put food on my table, and I'm still coming up $600 short on my rent. Right. That's where I would argue, to her point of, yo, you got parents working themselves to death, but they could be at home to be more present and prevalent. That's where that's.
I'm totally agree with you on what you just said. The jobs has left. Those type of jobs are gone. I worked at Bridger Stratton for 19 years. A 9-to-5 job that I was able to work and take care of my family and pay my child support. Right? Those jobs are gone. But we are arguing and telling McDonald's to pay $15 an hour, which wasn't a job where it was supposed to raise a family on.
It was a high school job.
It was a high school job. So now you got these people who don't have education.
I agree with that.
Working at these low-level jobs. So the kids are not working. So you got the parents that got the kids working their ass to death on these low-level jobs because all these other jobs left. They have nothing else left. Okay. So now we attack the fast food restaurant industry and say, hey, we need y'all to pay $20 an hour.
All right, so that's where we're going to draw the line. We're not attacking.
Man, come on, man.
We're going to go somewhere with this.
You telling them to give you
we're going to go somewhere with that. I'm going to let him get his thought out before we curve. Because we're going to go down a rabbit hole on that.
Okay, so let me go ahead. Okay, I agree with what you said.
Right.
I understand that. But you got individuals, adults that are working at McDonald's that, like he said, like the comedy man earlier, low-level jobs, low-level skills.
Right.
Maybe they could only be able to work at McDonald's.
Right.
What's wrong with $15?
Look, I'm not saying anything wrong with it. I don't know what the book said, but as they went up to where they're at, now it's what? $13 for a Happy Meal or a value meal.
But you also
value meal. I'm sorry, value meal.
But you also know what a livable wage is at this point in America. So whether it's 15 or not, $15 for McDonald's is crazy in 1992. It's not crazy in 2024.
I get that. I understand that.
About rent being $15.
Right. You can't rent no place for $5.
Well, they want to let Barada come in and buy everything up.
No,
we're not going to do that. We're not even going to go there. We're not going to start that a whole nother way. We're not even going to start with the Barada conversation.
But my thing, what I'm saying
is, can I say something to that? It's not just that, but
with the Barada.
Not about.
I want to take a shot at Barada. Let me say, as a massive landlord.
Not about Barada, but just about Black-owned businesses opening up in our communities, right? Mm-hmm. The way that we see them, like for me, like Jackson Soul Food, that is bigger than. They got soul food right here. Mm-hmm. We're able to employ 20 to 25 people. People. We were able to give a few guys second chances. They're working with Hubert, like different things. But our people, I went and had a pork chop. It was nasty. This shit is bigger than that. You get what I'm saying?
Well, we're gonna tell you how to food.
No,
can't do that.
That part doesn't matter. I'm talking about Black people in our community.
Right.
Doing things like that hurts us.
Hurts what? Talking about what? Saying about food?
Listen, everybody's not a food critic. I'm saying I don't mind. People can have their opinion.
Yeah, they gotta have their opinion.
I'm talking about. I would love for our people to start seeing the bigger picture of things, not even just the restaurant here, because we got so many community things coming up, regardless of what anybody's talking about. Yeah. But I'm saying that I see bigger things when I look at things. I see, that's more jobs for people over here. That's more. I don't see the burger.
I like that.
So hold that. I really want to explore that, but I want to go down a rabbit hole he started, and I want to talk about that.
I like that because we used to go to chick. We used to, it was Black foods entities here, like Red Snapper, like we talked about that. They go.
Red Snapper.
You break it down. Everybody
Red Snapper, not the old version. I like the old version.
So I want to see more Black food, healthy food. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Did you get
rabbit hole?
Yeah, so going down the rabbit hole that you started, that has been an issue and a pain in my ass since the day I started looking at shit.
Okay.
There we go.
Your point of the job's not here no more, right?
They're not.
Right. I agree.
You
have question to why.
Right. I argue that all the time.
And why?
When you look at and I don't blame any one person because I won't even say it's systematic. It's just been across the board for year after year.
Yeah.
when you look at especially North Side communities, how are North Side communities set up?
Man, it's bad.
But I'm saying like strategically, they're set up in a very specific way. Do you know how that is?
As in demographics?
Liquor store, church.
Yeah.
Like
Right, but do you understand why it was set up that way?
To keep them down, to keep everyone down.
No.
What?
So they were originally created so you could work and live in your community. If you look at communities, there was a
liquor store. Yep.
Right. There was a business, and then there was a church, a liquor store, so you could walk and go to your community. Whatever you don't need to drive 20 minutes, right? So when you look at the North Side, if you really look, if you pay attention, there was a A.O. Smith, the Master Lock, there was something in the middle of that community, and then whatever.
Yes.
When we started taking flight from industrial heavy jobs, the whatever you wanted, the mayor, the alderman, whomever, nobody stood back and said, okay, we're starting to notice a pattern that we're losing jobs. So what should we do? Okay, let's tear down that commercial property. Let's make that all residential. Let's leave that commercial building and make that a mixed use resident. They never did that.
Nope.
So now what you have in Milwaukee collectively is you have everything is mixed use because there's a commercial building on top of a resident on top of a, and so somebody goes in and says, I want to open up a club, and somebody says, I want to open up a church. And because you never rezoned it, or you never went in and relayed the lines out, everybody's allowed to do whatever the fuck they really want to do within the neighborhood.
No, they're not. It's a zoning board.
Right, but most of them never got rezoned to say, like when you go to a larger city like a Dallas, there's an art district. There's a whatever district. There's a Milwaukee doesn't have that because
like that. Okay. Because when you go open something in the city of Milwaukee,
you gotta go before the common council and do all that shit, get the variance and do all that.
And it has to agree up to the ordinance that they want to have
It's like the dollar doesn't matter. Like
the dollar, it's always about the money.
Okay, well let's not do that.
We're not doing that.
You see 6 daycares right on one block, and it's like, come on now, the club across the street,
but to that point, it should have been in 1990.
Hey,
they should have said, hey, this is just going to be residential. We're going to have, a grocery store here. We're going to have a liquor store because, and rightfully so, there should be a liquor store, whatever. But we never rezoned anything.
Right.
So we kept losing commercial properties. We kept losing jobs, but we never proactively said, okay, how are we going to pivot? Right. So now we're in the space where the city is like, okay, we 30 years past, let's pivot. What y'all want to do? And they said, let's do more music venues and more event venues, and let's become a cheaper version to Chicago, and we can steal Chicago business to come down here and do convention.
Yeah, I'm a concert promoter, so
that's great. That's lovely. You added on to the Midwest Express Center. I'm old. I forget what the hell it's called now. But you did that. You're building the FP with the FP Live or whatever. To that, the Ravens said, "Oh shit, we got to tighten up," and they redid they shit. So everybody is like, "Okay, this is what we're in it for."
Right.
Great.
Yes.
Where's the music venue on the north side?
One.
Where are all of those theaters that are boarded up and shuttered on the south side that they turn into wedding halls because there's nothing else to do? Excuse me. And so you're out here saying, hey, Milwaukee is the new fill in the blank, but it's only isolated right here. When tourism comes into the city, tourism is isolated to downtown. You might go a little way up MLK now that they starting to do what they doing with the bid and they're starting to. So you might maybe go a little ways up, but you're not going past the grocery store.
Nope.
And if I'm not mistaken on that, that's what the chief said, that there are going to be a lot more officers downtown.
Yeah, because I said this is Milwaukee operates from a visual standpoint that you care more about the experience of a tourist than you do about the quality of life of a resident.
Hello.
Yep.
And that's exactly what's happening.
We're talking about kids, and we're talking about the outcomes, and we're talking about parenting, and we're talking about the funding and the taxes and how all of this shit plays together. Right? Yeah. It don't take a rocket scientist to see where the shortcomings started and how that gap has gotten larger and larger and larger. And that's without talking about
the known fact, though.
The person who may have been implicated in not embezzlement. I'm used to calling it payola. What the hell is it called when you take a bribe?
No,
like there may be somebody who got in cover for a bribe and then wound up on the head of a board that didn't take care of their shit and then left with a $200,000 pension. You get what I'm saying? Like, let's not act like we don't see this shit.
Correct.
Now we can argue and say that, yeah, of course we see it because that's where we live, and the general person doesn't see it. But then where's the responsibility for us to be like, hey, this is what the fuck is really going on?
Yeah.
In layman's terms, for you to understand, like, yo, your city just lost $200,000 for somebody who didn't take care of the properties that HACM manages and was also caught up in the bribery scandals 5 years ago, but they just kept moving dog around to put it under the blanket because nobody really wanted to call it to the carpet. Right? And that's just one example.
That was out there.
That happened.
That was out there.
All that happened.
Yeah, all the world.
That was out there. Legitimate.
That was out there.
Situation that was
public.
That
right. So it ain't me trying to be like it's all public knowledge.
That's
all public knowledge.
Yeah.
But
it's true.
You gonna tell me that $200,000 pension that went to somebody who didn't even take care of your grandmama low income housing couldn't have been spent somewhere else? You gonna tell me that West Lawn don't look good on the outside, but if you go inside that motherfucker, it look just like the old West Lawn, if not worse? Like at a certain point,
Hillside.
Shout out to West Lawn.
Like at a certain point, I grew up in West Lawn for like 5 years. Great time. Super Springs Neighborhood Center, the whole nine. Right. But we can't keep having these conversations.
Right.
Like, you know what you know, and I've known you for a long time.
Yep.
We just met, but you know what you know, and you stand where you stand.
Yes, sir.
At a certain point, it has to become actionable. We got to take what you know, whether you know the real shit or the bullshit, or if you got to pull somebody to the side and be like, hey, bro, just so you know, like, you probably don't want to mess with dog because he, like, we keep having these conversations, and people are like, yeah, like, parents need this, and we need that, and we need this.
But there's no action.
We just keep doing this.
We keep going in circles.
Let me say something to that. Okay. A lot of reasons like there's no action is because everybody wants to be the big dog. Can't nobody
can be nobody want to be an idiot.
You took my last point away from it. That's it, right?
All these nonprofits that are doing pretty much the same thing. Nobody's working together to say, hey, we got a common cause. Let's all put our resources together and we can be able to reach more with that without having all these silos. Because you got, I'm gonna just name some people. You got WCS doing treatment. You got Lockett Services over here doing sub treatment. You got Hanger Enterprises over here doing sub treatment, which is substance abuse disorder. Treatment. Everybody, y'all doing the same thing.
So I got a question. So with those treatment facilities, do people actually do data to see what percentage is helping? Who's actually, you want the real answer for the lie. I get it. If you have, that's what I always say. Even if I just help one person, I help that one person. But
true,
I get that. But
there are no real checks and balances in place.
Is it actually been beneficial, or these entities and organizations just getting this?
Most checks and balances are in place to make sure the check keeps coming. That's it. So whatever the bare minimum is to do to make sure they get funding for the next year, that's what they do, right? And so I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let you go.
And their stats, because each company has their own, their internal stats on the demographic that they meet. So the places that I just mentioned, namely WCS, I'm saying Lockett, are geared towards the individuals that are in the criminal justice system for them to have treatment and for something to go, for them, because a lot of times it's court ordered for them to have A, B, and C and do things while they're in the community. So there is a lot of stats that show that if they continue and if they do the treatment as it's designed, it will work, but you have to do it as designed.
I have to
do the amount of classes, the amount of dosage hours.
With the understanding of all the bills that are in your way to fulfill it as it's laid out. Right?
I have a couple friends that works at, I don't know if I should have said the name of the place. The place. A place, right? She's I don't know if it's a social worker, but she has clients that comes to get government assistance.
Okay.
And they supposed to analyze, give them work opportunities, guidance, if they got these multiple kids that getting these government assistance. And I talked to them and she say I'm sitting here talking to Janet, just saying some names. Janet got 4 kids. She got a boyfriend that beat on her and dealing with multiple girls. So she called me because he took her money. They about to get put out. And I supposed to put an action plan together for her. And JoJo ain't gonna follow it, but I gotta put some on paper because it has to go up the hill that I did something, and we're gonna still give JoJo a check. Now we're gonna cut JoJo a check to help her out because her man stole her money. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is that W2 type program? It's like a W2 type program because I don't want to say the organization, okay. But but it's federal funding. You know what I'm saying? It's federal funding that's coming in, state funding that's coming into these facilities. Okay. And they have a caseload of 200, 300 people, and they actually got to try to sift through these caseloads and try to help these people out. And the people is not even wanting to help, but they want the government assistance.
Right.
And so I think that comes with mental health though, because a lot of people, like, just for you using that scenario, right. I hate the fact that every time a lot of Black men speak and they want to speak on something, they say things like that. There are so many Black women that actually work hard day in and day out. Listen, there are so many Black men that are on W2 that receive welfare, they receive the food stamps, and they don't do anything. I've not once heard one Black man say anything about that.
Hey, look, there is Black men out there.
You don't bring
and I know, and I bring it up right now. There are Black men that I know personally that don't have no job. They got to hustle. They claim that they're homeless to get the food stamp card. You know what I'm saying? They on Medicaid.
So which would be the bigger issue? The Black woman that has the kids,
the Black man.
The
Black man would be the biggest issue.
Why isn't that a priority for you when you speak? Why is that not?
It doesn't. It is.
You never do.
It is a priority, but it's the woman who chooses the man.
Hear me out.
It's the woman who chooses the man, though.
Hear me out.
If you stop choosing another ass,
listen.
You don't have a problem.
But you all sit around those men and you still friend them. You still kiki with them?
I trust you.
I'm not saying you.
If you ain't taking care of your kids, I don't trust you. I can't trust you if you don't take care of your kids.
Okay, in that sense, you make broken homes. We talked about this. You created some broken homes. There's some men that shouldn't talk to you then.
Yeah, they're right. Exactly. People who are married, men who are married, people who are married and kids.
There's no scrutiny.
I'm not in that.
For Black men that do go and collect that assistance and can work.
Well, that's why Trump kicking them off.
So it's
Trump is kicking them off. But that's part of the big beautiful bill. Okay, that's part of the big beautiful bill. If you're a man,
why do you need 2 years?
If you're a man,
beautiful bullshit.
If you're
beautiful bullshit.
You are a man. You can't get government. He's cutting it off. He's cutting them off. People that I know, man, they call me like, "Hey, did Trump just say that he's cut?" I say, "Yes."
But here's
over.
The thing:
the graduate train is over. You have to go out there and get a job.
So listen. So twofold. To her point, to the first point, right?
Right.
I think the reason that happens the way it happens is because it's nature versus nurture. That's how our community chooses to address the situation, so it becomes common practice to say women with kids and women are. I don't even think it's intentional. It's just that's the narrative that we've chose to spin in our community.
Yeah, we need
we need and so when men speak, and to be fair, when most women speak, women are the one who take the brunt of those conversations. So I wouldn't even say, when men do it.
I think everyone, just the fact of her, because if you were a man and I was in her role, your friend with the casework.
The caseload,
I would be talking to you about that because you say you really speak with conviction about that, about Black men and doing more and blah blah blah, being out there for them. I would want to know why she isn't coming to you with those cases, because there's tons of that to see what insight you may have.
Right, she didn't give me that.
Again, I think it goes back to the community, right? Like that's what we're. So
you know, like that's what we're conditioned to speak to. Yeah.
I'm not gonna give it a pass because it needs to stop.
No, I'm not gonna give it a pass.
Every time I hear them doing that, I will correct them every single time, because there's no way you don't see that. I would prefer my tax dollars go to a woman that may be mentally messed up, got all these kids. I don't know why she's making those choices. I prefer to know I'm helping feed her children than a nigga that's just outside.
I agree, and that's why Trump said they off.
Stamps most of the time.
That's why Trump getting rid. They
but
off.
See, but that's
they off.
But you,
if Biden was still in LBO, Trump cutting them
out here, man.
What you mean? Trump is cutting them off. They gone. But you can't. Ain't no Black man finna do that no more.
You can't take everybody's benefits like that and say, "Well, I'm taking on the guise of fraud." People depend on that, bro. People, you said it yourself. You said it yourself, bro. You said your mother
Right.
Growing up, depended on that welfare to make sure that you
got off of it.
Okay, so
got off of it and make the transition to know get off of it.
Okay.
These people don't get off of it. They do whatever they do to stay on it.
I ain't done with that.
Go
ahead. I ain't done with that yet.
He's a single issue voter.
I ain't done with that. I ain't done one point yet. So you can't sit back and now say, well, I was a benefit of the W-2, and then turn around and say, well, y'all need to get off it because you have.
I'm not that.
Whoever give you some opportunities to get yourself together.
What I'm saying,
get out of
it can't be a life. It can't be a life sentence to be on government assistance. It can't be.
I agree.
It can't be a life sentence.
I agree with that.
When my mama was on welfare, while she was on welfare, she went to school and she got it out of that.
Away from herself
and that's what it's there for. It's there for that. It's there for that. Not for you to be on it for a lifetime.
Come in the door and start kicking folks out. You gotta get out here. You gotta get out here.
At some point, you gotta do this for me. Do this.
You can't do that.
Give me one program that takes somebody from welfare to wealthy.
Hello.
To welfare to wealthy?
Welfare
program?
Yeah.
Give me one program that you can say there is a system set up that if you're on welfare, that within 2 years you will be off welfare, making a livable income and have, I wouldn't even say a home, but a reasonable place to stay.
Maximum have programs in there.
And I'm not saying in theory, I'm saying proven track record.
There are programs when you go get government assistance.
Name one.
Name one.
Name one.
That's not true.
What you mean? So there's I didn't physically never been on that, but there are programs in there. If you get government assistance, you gotta go find a job. You find a job, you work your way up to be what you want to be, or build your credit to buy and build a business.
But if you don't find a job, you can extend your benefits. If you don't tell me, right, you can extend your benefits. Right. So to the conversation and to the point that I'm trying to make is, okay, if he wants to take that away, I'm not gonna say it's great, but okay, I get it, right? Like you want to take the benefits away, you got 2 years, you got to get the fuck on. Great. But then give me the same way. If you ever been, I haven't, but I know people have. If you ever broken a bone or been like a bad surgery, they give you like Vicodin, and then they give you something else, and then they give you something else, and then they give you something else, and they give you something else, and then you're off. Right? So same concept. If I've been on welfare, whether I'm supposed to be or I'm not supposed to be on it, you want to take me off of it, then there needs to be protocol or system in place that people can go through and find a job or find or whatever. There's no system.
That's the only thing.
And there are some people who have, there are going to be some people who haven't.
So the people who's giving those funds to these individuals, so then you say, well, these people, those places are not getting people off of that. They're not transitioning people to get off of welfare. There's no programs in these organizations that allow them to come off this. That's basically what you're saying, right?
No, that's
no. That's what you said. So this has been going on way before Trump was in office.
No, 1,000%.
Way before he was office. So he just came and said, "Look, enough is enough. But if I'm giving you $13 billion, and now I got to give you one asking for $25 billion, you know? No, we got to come up with something to get these people off.
Nobody. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not mad at the concept.
There's a way to do it, though, bro.
There's a way to do it.
There's a way to do it.
You don't just come in
and say, I'm taking your benefit. I'm taking you off.
With no.
That's.
Let's remove the welfare. Let's go to Medicaid. Let's go to Medicare.
A work requirement. A work requirement. So you requesting people to do 20 hours.
Okay.
20 hours a week to get Medicaid. They don't care if it's volunteer, going to your local communities and churches that get involved in kids' activities. I don't care. Then you get your Medicaid. You know what I'm saying? So if that's a incentive that he's doing.
I agree, but I agree.
You gotta work to get unemployment for so long. You gotta go.
You gonna have the same problem.
So they have to do some type of incentive, and that's what he's doing with that. You do that.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I don't know. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. When people come here from other countries and they start businesses, then they don't have to pay taxes for X amount of time.
No,
is that a thing?
That's
but they don't have credit when they get here. So they got clear credit.
Right.
Did he change anything about that?
No. What you mean? They gotta.
No, I'm asking. I don't know.
Oh, as in the bill?
No, is there something out there for that? Like, Because I heard that before that they didn't pay taxes for X amount of time, but they kind of
not correct.
I mean, they don't pay tax unless they're here illegally, respectfully.
Yeah.
Like, but if they're here and they're a citizen and they have a business, they still they just don't have they start with their credit at whatever 400, 500, whatever. But they can build it up. They ain't got none of the shit we got.
And they countries are giving them money when they come over here.
So
they're not getting money here.
No, I'm not saying they get money. I'm saying they start the businesses. I thought they weren't being taxed.
They can tax.
Not unless they're doing something illegal.
You take the city,
right?
I don't know.
But
I don't know if you're if you're in a sanctuary city, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here he go, man. This cat. You know what I'm saying?
You sanctuary city, you might not pay no taxes. I don't know.
Let's not go to sanctuary city stuff.
Yeah, let's stick where we at. We don't went down enough roads already. Let's not even.
Taxpayers should be paying for that.
Let's not talk about alligator apples.
All right, okay. We need.
Yeah, you need to.
What we were saying is, and I think my brother Travis here in the red agrees with me what we said about the Medicare. What were you gonna say, brother?
No, I was just so same thing, right? Like, okay, you're on Medicaid, you're on Medicare. This bill comes through. Hey, you got to get off either immediately or whatever the case may be, because there's been staggered situations that have happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
I agree to your point. Hey, if you can work 20 hours, whether you volunteering or hey, great. Like, absolutely, by all means, like if you are capable.
If you're capable, that's what he said. That's part of it. If you're capable of doing it, but you have a disability.
But we've already learned that their ability to for oversight is not that.
Right.
There we go.
What?
Like, that's what they say. Like, if you're doing 20, if you're not capable, then you won't lose it. But we've already seen that their ability to regulate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you are disabled, or you have a walking problem, or you've been to the doctor, or you have isn't being let's be keep it a buck. None of it's going to be regulated the way it should to really make sure that it's going to happen the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, and you got people.
But when you cutting 2 million, I'm making up a number, 2 million jobs out of the federal department in different things. There's not enough people to make sure.
Right.
I'm not going to sit on. I got to sit on hold for 7 hours to tell you that my leg messed up.
I mean. And then at his point, like he was saying, my cousin was happy as a lark when she got her federal job. Finally got in there, interviewed, got the job. Trump came in, job got cut.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then got an email saying, okay,
you're back.
You're back. Oh, no, sorry.
You're gone.
You're going again. Oh, you're back again. Like, she's trying to pay rent. She's trying to pay condos. She's trying to live. You can't be playing around with people like that.
I totally agree. That's why I would never work for the federal government. I would never work for the federal government because it's based on taxpayers' money. And anybody that's coming in as president of the United States of America, even it's the governor, the new governor's gonna come in. Whoever become the next governor of Wisconsin.
Before you go, can we go down that rabbit hole before we leave? Can we for 5 minutes? Like before we go, can we just talk about the governor? Okay, now. Just before we go, I want to stay right here. I want to stay right here, but before we go, I just want to get it. I just want to touch on that part. Just the whole thing. Just,
okay.
But we're gonna come back.
So what I'm saying, so they're gonna come in. You're gonna government like that. Man, you making it work. Everybody's gonna do that. Every person that comes in an elected office gonna come.
You got some man coming. Elon Musk kept coming here and saying you need to call these programs. Man, you don't. That's wrong. The government is not a business like that. You cannot just cut. You are cutting the foundation of this country when you do things like that.
And I get what you said. I get it. But the reason why government ballooned to what it is because more people was getting on government funding.
Come on. Come on.
No. What? No.
No? Oh, you don't think so?
The main reason?
No, I'm not saying the main reason, but that's what I'm saying.
You said the main reason.
You hire more people where you're, let's just say in the disability Medicare, if you hire more people, that means you got more people on it.
Understood.
If you don't need to hire more people, I said if you're hiring more people in a entity of government, that means that you need more people and resources because you're asked that more people on it. You need to get these caseloads down. So if your caseload is high, you got more people on it. You're gonna hire people to work, correct? So just like
that's what's supposed to happen.
In theory.
So that's what happened. So basically, all these people that I'm not gonna say all these people, but it got caseload got big, right? Caseload got big, so they start hiring people, right? Just like any company does.
Okay.
Right?
No.
So stop it. She just said she. What you mean?
You and I both know.
What you mean?
You and I both.
You got five customers in a restaurant and you got 20 employees. You able to make no cut?
No, you'll make a cut. That's what you said. You said they were hired.
If you go higher, you got more people.
Right, but that's not.
Why would you not hire more people? You lose.
You know as well as I do. If you can force it to make more money, on 10 people when you really need 15. You're gonna make them 10 people work. You're gonna work them 10 people to death.
Yes.
Let's keep it. Like in a perfect world, workload, we hire people. But if I can make John, Larry, and Jim work an extra.
I totally agree with that.
I totally agree with that. Just add 5 more pieces.
But he five ain't gonna hurt you.
But how they looking at it is like, you know what? I'm cutting the people that shouldn't be on Medicaid. So I don't need a caseload of people. I don't need all these people that's working in Medicaid. No, but I'm cutting people off Medicaid that shouldn't be on Medicaid.
No, we're talking about.
So you're dwindling the people on Medicaid. So I gotta cut the staff on Medicaid. That's what I said. Government workers. It's the same thing. So if I'm telling individuals, look, you got a work requirement. You don't want to do it. So if I'm getting people and telling them that you're not going to be on government assistance, I don't need 2,000 people to do Medicaid if I'm reducing the people in government assistance.
But
because then I'm not using the taxpayers' money wisely.
I understand what you're saying, but dig this, because that's not 100% how this is going to go by any means.
At all.
Why? How come?
So I'm gonna tell you this story, and then I'm gonna come to that example.
Okay.
Right. So right now there was a huge push for electric cars. Not solar cars, electric cars.
Mm-hmm.
Right. California had all these incentives and get electric cars, and we got to get people off of fossil fuels and all this shit. Right.
It's cool.
Sounds great.
Because we're dependent.
Right.
Dependency.
But here's my question, right?
We depend on oil. We got our own oil here.
If
we couldn't drill.
Right, we couldn't drill for shit.
Right, because it was environmental issues, all that stuff. Go ahead.
But if we take all of what does it say America? We didn't even say the world. We just take America's population, right?
Right.
And we take away
375 million.
Okay. Thank you for the number, because I don't know this. 375 million people.
Right.
Dump their fossil fuel cars and go to electric.
Right.
What happened?
Our electric grid, our United States electric grid can't even handle
right?
Correct.
True. But if we kick off all these people on Medicaid, we supposed to have something else is gonna have to be
right.
Like if they ain't gonna just go out into the street, something is going to have to bear the brunt of the change.
And that would be the law in hospital bills what it was before. You remember back before it was Obamacare, we all went to the
affordable health care.
Hospitals couldn't reject you if you came in there sick. That's the law, right?
But there was still a bill.
It was still a bill. It was,
and you can that still holds up now, does it not? I may be wrong.
What?
If you go to the hospital, they gotta.
They still gotta.
Yeah,
that's still gonna bill you.
So I didn't follow. You like they had, but when they had, I'm not following that part.
Well, what I'm saying is, you said kicking people off.
Right. If you kick them off, they still got.
They still gonna need healthcare services, right?
Okay. So now
that's what I'm saying.
They still need healthcare services. They're already disabled, and they're gonna get a bill that they can't afford.
Wait, you threw disability, because disability people are not going to get kicked off. But in theory, because
people are on Medicaid.
Some may be an issue where some may be caught up
and your individuals that are in
there's an age in there. There's an age in there.
Let me say
that. There's an age requirement because once you're at a certain age, you automatically get Medicaid.
True.
Certain age, but if you below 50, it's a certain age. Read the bill. It's a certain age. But if you 50 or 55 and less,
so the people that was on their motor scooters who got arrested with Ben and Jerry, they was under 50.
When was this?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't see that. I don't know.
You didn't see. I remember, but you didn't see when the CEO of Ben and Jerry's got arrested for protesting this whole thing, and it was 8 women on electric scooters getting arrested because they got taken off.
Right, but they didn't get taken off. No, they didn't.
What they take? They went
to protest it. They was not going to lose it. They went to go protest it, so they protest the issue of the bill. It wasn't affecting them, but they were saying, "Oh, it's going to affect us. It's going to affect us." They did. How?
They got kicked off.
They did not get kicked off, man. The bill wasn't even signed, and they was protesting the bill before it was even went through.
Because it had the simulation.
Because the bill. And I will say this. I could be incorrect. So I'm not gonna stand on this one. So I'm gonna say I could be wrong.
No, they won't get.
But I don't think you are. Bro.
The argument.
They was not gonna.
The argument and protest was the day that gets signed, I'm off.
No,
and that's why they were there.
And then let me correct that, because the Medicaid doesn't kick in until 2027.
Right.
2027.
That I'm okay.
Right? So you're not getting kicked off to 2027.
But you are getting kicked off.
You individuals that are able to go out there and work, yes, your ass get kicked off. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a wheelchair and you protested, your ass was not going to get kicked off. You just want to make a big stink about media-wise about the bill in its facade of kicking people off. People didn't like the word that people gonna get kicked off, and that's what the media ran with. They gonna get kicked off. Yes, people are gonna get kicked off of Medicaid, but people are gonna be able to keep their Medicaid benefits. I don't understand.
Okay, but what's in place when you kick, like you said to the point earlier, kick all these people out,
right?
And it's now you got this big overload of grid.
No, it ain't. You better see.
Do
you know Wisconsin, Badger Care, Wisconsin? We have our own medical system within the state. Yeah, we can.
Funded by what?
No, taxpayers. That's not funded by taxpayers.
What else?
That is funded by taxpayers.
What else, my brother?
The federal government don't fund our medical system.
Yes, they do.
No, not
the whole thing, but they contribute.
But they
contribute to Badger Care.
A
small percentage.
Federal government assistance goes to Medicare.
When Mitt Romney ran for president of the United States, they tried to mimic. Even Obamacare is mimicked off of Mitt Romney in Massachusetts, because Massachusetts had one of the best state Medicaid plan for their people within Massachusetts. So the state is the one that really could do a secondary to the individuals that they feel are going to get kicked off. That's able out there and work.
Can I give a fun fact?
Yeah.
So the federal government funds approximately 86% of Medicare.
As I said, that's a significant amount.
86% of
Medicare.
Right, that's Medicaid.
Badger Care.
Right, we talk about Badger Care. Right.
Yeah. For Wisconsin. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna add this in here. GOP been coming for Medicaid and Medicare ever since Affordable Health Care Act, because they got pissed to hell that the man Obama got that passed through, and it was this big thing because it helped Black individuals with getting health care, because we were a large number of folks that didn't have health care. So ever since that time, y'all have been coming for health care.
It fueled the opiate epidemic too.
So I can't.
Everybody, do you know who gave to Obamacare?
I'm on gut. It's 60%.
Did you?
16%.
I gotta look at that. But listen.
So now I got a gut. So now I can't treat the bill. I can't
It's saying in the state 40. Yeah.
So now I'm gonna gut pieces of it, like you're doing with Department of Education. I'm gonna gut pieces of it to make it obsolete.
But I could be wrong, because I may not know this. I still haven't seen what the plan is.
Right.
Once it's dismantled.
What you mean? What's it do? What you mean? It goes back to the state.
Where them comes?
We've already proven that.
So it goes.
The federal government stepped in and gave 60%.
And that's the problem.
And to be fair,
that is the problem. Because the federal government is supposed to be the state's supposed to take care of their municipality, of their citizens within their state through their tax base or wherever it is. That's how states do. The federal government is like big brother to oversee. Okay, what are you doing over there? Okay, you do making sure that's good. That's what the federal government. The federal government is not there.
But that's what. But not correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong. That's what the Department of Education was. It was the checks and balances of state school systems to make sure that they are equally educated and whatever the hell the tests were called when we were taking. Like all of that is what
the state test. That's the state
no. Like
there was no federal test. It was the state test.
I'm not saying it was a federal test. I'm saying to mandate and to make sure that those were being executed and treated and all that was there. To your point, they're big brother. They're overseeing the entire educational system of the U.S. to make sure that we are on par against China math having asses or fucking Japan tech. You know what I'm saying? Like that's their job, is to make sure that their country is on par with everybody else.
So
the state still managed it.
Right.
So you're taking away what I would call checks and balances, my dog, for each individual state school system to make sure that we are, in theory, equal, which we all know that ain't the case.
Right.
True.
So
now you're gonna make it.
So what would you what would you think if you look at the states to say MPS, regular MPS, right? So like you say,
let's be clear, everybody when the government was gonna come take over MPS, everybody said we don't want that shit.
Exactly.
We don't need them.
Exactly.
We don't want them.
Exactly.
We don't.
Exactly.
So like, just be clear, we already had a situation where the government was like, hey,
we'll take it out.
1 point away.
Right. We gonna take this.
But
We got it.
Why that happened?
Why? What happened?
Please dig in. Go for it.
MPS was the way that was. $800,000 of funding was taken under the Walker administration.
Because y'all the same amount of kids in MPS, they fuck mamas and daddies. What do you mean?
You can't. I love. You know what? I just love
St. Margaret
Republicans make problems.
All these.
I love how y'all make problems. Y'all make problems.
How we make problems?
And then turn around and say,
we make problems. Hold on. So you said MPS had the same amount of kids in their school system?
No, they
did parents? Or was they losing care, right? So back then was a lot of black families that was middle class within the Capitol Court area. They wasn't moving out to Brown Deer, West Allis, Salvador for the school system. That's what they did. They moved out there for the education school system back there because they had issues with MPS. Yes. What? Okay. MPS and crime. So explain to me.
So here, this is what I would say.
Explain to me. Tell me.
Right. And I hate to give you this little bit of credit, but you halfway on par. So
hey, y'all still on 3 billion.
I hate to do it. I don't want to do it, but I gotta be like, you're kind of right.
Okay.
Right. So I wouldn't say that there was a flight of middle class in that area. Because there wasn't. There wasn't flight in the sense that you're saying of like, oh, there was financial freedom and now we've moved.
Correct.
But what started happening was, and a lot of people, I won't say a lot, but enough people got caught up in that they were lying about their address to put their kid in a school. No. 220 was legit. You could go through 220 and there was no crime.
Right.
But there were people who was like, oh, my auntie stay in Glendale, so I'm gonna say you live in Glendale to get you. And so to your point, not that they took flight and put their kids in different schools, but they were fudging things to put their kids in a different
they had to have somebody out there who lived.
Yeah, somebody, they didn't leave for the school. You already have somebody out there.
Yeah,
that was a handful.
Well, a lot of people that work at Bridges Strike.
But that was they had been out there. Like they had been out there. Like let's be fair. In 1992, if you told somebody you lived in Brown Deer, you was like, damn. You in Brown Deer? Now you live in Brown Deer, you'd be like, damn, you live in Brown Deer? Right. So, but again, that's the conversation earlier about like we were Right. When the money was flowing, that absolutely was the case. That people were moving.
Everybody, so MPS, so people was MPS.
And don't get me wrong, and don't get me twisted. That's also a problem. Like when you were getting money, you didn't invest in the community that's not fucked up. The minute you got your money, you was out. That is a problem. Like, so I'm not going to take that away from you. On par.
That's true.
Like, but no, to the school's point, in the bigger problem, the school point, that was not what contributed to the school system having lower numbers. Like, not that we had money, so we hit it.
Right.
We see the state of empty. Like when I was going to high school and I went to Nicolay, but this is what happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I was in MPS up until high school. At high school, I got accepted in Riverside and I got accepted in Nicolay. Right. And so my mom said, okay, we're gonna go tour the two schools and you can pick where you want to go. Yeah. I said, cool. Now young me is like, oh, all my people going to Riverside. I'm at Riverside. And so this was the first time that this happened in my psyche, and I've stuck with it ever since. We went to Riverside. Riverside got them fluorescent ass light bulbs. You know what I'm saying? The linoleum floors, the rolling gate. It's fucking trash on the floor. You know what I'm saying? We half-ass greeted when we get there. Cool. We leave same day. We leave there. We go to Nicolay.
But they want more money.
Nicolay got white lights. Nicolay got clean floors.
Oh man!
We walk in. There's a greeter at the door. Hey, how you doing? You here? Sign in. Blah 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 blah. I look in the classrooms. The classrooms are for the most part predominantly white, but it's a speckle. You know what I'm saying? Like, but and I solely made a decision to go to Nicolay at the time based on the fact that I was like, I don't want to ingest that visually every day.
Every day.
Okay.
It didn't have nothing to do with anything else other than when I wake up every day, I don't want to do a metal detector every day. I don't want to value myself against that. Right. And so I think that that's just what a lot of parents wanted for their kids at a certain point. It was like, I don't want that to be the thing.
Right.
Oh, I can kind of tie this into what I was saying earlier about the businesses, Black-owned businesses.
Okay.
So we tear down the ones that are really pouring into them, making them look aesthetically pleasing in the neighborhood.
Right.
So you can feel the growth and the empowerment and things like that, right? Yes. We choose to tear them down. That's the biggest question. Why?
I haven't.
Because they go to the club and stand outside. The club toilet been broke for 10 years.
I agree.
I never tear down a black business, especially they making the businesses beautiful. I have been at the aldermans and the mayors because when you go to Glendale, you got business in Glendale, they tell you how your sign need to be. They tell you that it ain't no plastic. We want glass. You know what I'm saying? We don't want no plastic. You can't put plastic in the window like they do here, like these stores. You got to put actual glass that faded out of the black. It has to be painted. The landscaping has to be done. Lovely landscaping. But these are municipalities.
That's an automatic.
Right. That's an automatic. But Milwaukee aldermen and mayors doesn't hold business owners within this community to a higher standard to make sure their businesses look the way they need to look.
I'll give you that.
And that's
another problem with that.
Guess why?
It's the problem with that.
Guess what?
Why?
Because they just go in there and they come out and nobody else cares. So they're able to get away with that.
Right.
There's no reason.
You put the same alderman in every year. You put the same alderman in.
You gotta think about it. When you go vote, that's the only box to check. And if unchecked, like what happened?
They're running, and most of them run uncontested.
Exactly.
Most of them do run uncontested, but I blame us for that. To the same,
absolutely.
to answer, I'll go and I'm gonna answer your point in conjunction with
And
that.
then we don't have community in our neighborhood stepping up and making the aldermen be responsible for this. You don't have.
Well, unfortunately, they don't even understand what it means to have growth in what it looks like to have growth in your community.
Exactly.
That's very unfortunate.
That's very unfortunate.
That's true.
So I'm gonna go to a point and come back to another point. So to that point, right? I think that again, back to conditioning, Milwaukee, especially Black Milwaukee, and I hate that, but unfortunately, it's just the state of the fact, right?
Yeah.
Like Milwaukee is segregated to points like Black Milwaukee.
Yes.
Black Milwaukee does not again live or survive in thriving, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I can guarantee you right now, there is somebody else who has a studio just like this who ain't never met you who think y'all got a problem just because y'all both got a podcast studio.
Right. Got a problem with you already. What she doing? So she thinks automatic.
No.
And the crazy part is it's not even that for me because I offer free promo for small Black businesses. I offer a lot of things. And I know, hey, they might not be able to pay. You get what I'm saying? But I make sure everybody's voice that makes sense, gets across. But I do my part.
But none of that, and I'm not saying this directly to you, but none of that matters in the greater scheme because everybody lives in survival. And when you're in survival, collaboration is not a part of survival.
But that's only among us.
That's mainly among us. And I would like it's among us because
I can tell you, Habib.
I was just gonna say something. Boy, you probably on the same. We're be on the same boat.
So you look at Al. You look at these individuals. You know what I'm saying? Al, he owns the Hampton Liquor Store. He used to own Bar 107. They all collaborate.
But our people love to be up under them and kiss their ass. They gonna respect that. I can see them picking up trash and shit in front of their shit before they would their own people.
Yeah.
Oh, 1,000%.
And that's a mental thing.
But we do this, and this I can tell you with absolute fact.
Yes.
We will support each other until a certain point.
Yeah.
When you getting started, that's it. I'm eating there every day. Woo, yada, yada, yada. Oh, you opening up a second store? Oh, you got a new car? Oh, you sending your kid to private school? Nah, I'm not. Your Milwaukee allows you to be equal, never ahead.
Right.
The minute you get ahead, they are going to pull you back.
Facts over feelings tonight for real.
And so to the conversation of, like you go to a restaurant and you speak poorly upon them, but you don't speak poorly upon them. We don't speak poorly upon them because our perception of them is that they're better than us because we only engage them the same way we get consumed, right? Through media. Yeah. Oh, you an Arab, you must be having money. Oh, you white, you must be right. And so one of the things I tell people that I've learned in the last 2 years in doing what I'm doing is that since every February since birth, we see the same fucking video. It's black and white. It's the nigga with the dog chasing the black folks. It's the black bathroom and the white bathroom. Y'all know what video I'm talking about because we all had to watch it, right?
Yes.
What we didn't realize as it pertains to Milwaukee is that we simultaneously were taught that segregation and racism go hand in hand. They're two different words for a reason. Milwaukee is no more racist than any other city of its size. We are significantly more segregate.
Yeah.
But the conversation gets muddled because we think that one goes in hand with the other.
Yes.
When I go talk to people, the number one thing they say to me, and I truly believe this because it's across the board, I don't go there or I don't go somewhere simply because I don't know it. It's unfamiliar to me. So I stay with what's familiar, which is where you work, where you grow up, where you live.
I was gonna say that,
brother. I was in what was this last year? Recently, me and my wife shopped at Aldi's in Menominee Falls.
Are you gonna keep letting it do it?
We were coming out of Aldi's.
Take it off of there.
Me?
Yeah.
Coming out of Aldi's.
It's interrupting.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, flash.
Oh, I didn't know the flash was.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on.
Flash, but the sound of.
The sound's picking up on it. Just mute it. Just turn the sound off.
This white older gentleman. He come out the same time as us. All of a sudden, he just started talking to us. I got a buggy. My wife got her stuff. The white guy got his stuff. We walking out to our cars. And all of a sudden, he asked us, hey, where you guys from? I'm like, Milwaukee. He says, really? I says, yeah. He says, I don't go to Milwaukee. Me and my wife looked at him like, why? Because I was told if I go to Milwaukee, I'm gonna get shot.
And he's not wrong.
And he says, I have some kind of condition where my organs and stuff are going to get donated, and I have to take really good care of myself because if I don't get the organs donated or something. And I thought what he said, I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, dang, that's the perception of Milwaukee, that if you come here, you're just gonna get shot. Well, I told him, well, sir, my brother, I was born and raised in Milwaukee, and unfortunately, I'm not gonna wood.
I ain't never been shot.
I've never been shot. Never been robbed. Never this stuff that's going on. That's being perpetuated in the media. That stuff has never happened to me. And I have lived on 19th and Nash. I have lived on 24th and Capitol. I've lived in the hood and have never had anything happen to me before.
And so, right. And
but
so
that's the horrible thing that people are. That's the thing that I say is horrible because that's the image that's being projected.
And that's why I said he's not wrong.
Right. Yeah,
like I don't.
We do that to ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
So do I think that he is right? No. Is he wrong? No. Right. And this is my answer to that and kind of what I was alluding to. So if I live in the hood, whatever your version of the hood may be, and I watch the news, anytime Glendale come on the fucking news, it's gonna be people walking dogs, coffee shop, Bayshore, whatever.
Watch Channel 6, you'll see.
Don't get me started on 6. If I live in Glendale and I turn on the news, if my only touch point is media,
correct,
right,
and understand the strongest advocate we have against stereotypes is that, and we use it to perpetuate it.
Yeah, that's true.
If Fox 6 is like, yo, all that's happening over there is niggas getting shot, but then you go on the feed and everybody at the park, everybody kicking it, people dancing. We tell the stories that the news tells.
Correct. We reshare it.
So even if we wanted to say that's not us, every social media is a fight. Somebody getting robbed.
That's their favorite part. Yeah.
So we have the ability to change the narrative, but we choose to participate.
Because I find it quite odd. What you said, I find it quite odd that recently we just had this big thing came over the news that it was big fight, 60-something people involved in the fight at Oak Creek. No video. But a couple of people get around and get it in a gang somewhere here or in a circle, a bunch of black folks.
Breaking news.
It's everywhere.
I seen the video. It was a video.
People.
No, you know how quiet they kept the Walmart
people.
Fire?
Yeah.
The Walmart fire came and went.
60 people.
10-year-old set a fire. Oh,
yeah, right.
When that boy burned down, that was a Dollar General on Hampton.
Yeah.
That's been on the news for 72 hours. Oh, his mama got arrested. He got arrested.
Man.
And so that but again, right? Like
60 people in no video? You ain't hearing nothing about that other than what the news quickly reported on it. It was a quick 2-minute.
Yep.
This is what happened, and these people got arrested. Bang. Next.
On to next.
No, on 3rd Street, they had a influencer party, and that's why they showing these kids running buck wild because somebody's down there shooting. And that was replayed.
Water Street
was replayed.
Water Street.
So
I was back to
back. We're gonna be here all night. We got to pick a subject and stay there.
I got 8 o'clock.
Okay. But I do want to. At the end of it, I think we need to definitely talk about the governor You know what I'm saying? And what that look like. I think we should.
How much longer we got, Tay? We got.
Well, I mean, even next time you want to talk about.
20 minutes, okay.
Yeah. So, but I think that is important as all the conversations that we're having. It all of it goes back to the person who's going to.
Yeah, man. It's like just we're the ones filming and putting it on social media. We're on worst enemy. Yeah.
So we have to. So the person who's going to be the governor of Wisconsin, everything we talked about the issues, that's going to be on his plate. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we got here. Is I made that post about the whole mayor situation and what have you.
I love what you did.
Yeah. You know, I live in a different space, right? And
locally though.
At the end of the day, one thing that I'm really good at is I can receive things I don't agree with and take something away from it. Right?
Yeah.
Like I don't have to agree with you, but you said something that I can live with or best with.
I do that in relationships.
And so, we'd already talked about your relationship. We're not going backwards.
Right. We'll be here all night for real.
But
hey, I got an application for one. I got an interview.
I'm done. I'm not doing this.
If he hired me, I'm done.
You said that 3 other times. Contract's been voided like hell. Anywho, moving on. But the thing that people were saying universally was like, "Yo, like this is spot on." But there were a couple people like, "It's not the mayor's job to stop that. The mayor is just a figurehead, right?" And so I don't necessarily agree with that, but I can receive that and understand the perception of it, right? But
here, behind it was
right. But my argument is this: even if you don't land, and this rolls up to the governor situation, even if you don't land on the mayor has any real pool, right? Which I don't agree with.
I don't agree with it, right?
But let's just say that is the case, right? Does a cheerleader play football?
No.
Does the cheerleader win a game?
No.
But a cheerleader inspires morale.
Exactly.
We want to, at minimum, it is the mayor's job to make you be proud to call this place home.
Right.
And now if we go deeper, you are a black man in a city fulfilled by negative shit on the internet, whatever. Like we thrive on it. So it's your job as a mayor to be like, "Hey, y'all, knock that shit off."
Right.
Hey, y'all, like, let's do this. Let's post this. Here's a whole citywide social media campaign. Use this hashtag whenever you see something positive happening. Tag somebody that's doing something positive, and if the city thinks it's worthy, we're gonna whatever. Like, come take a tour of City Hall, whatever. Right. And so, regardless of how you feel, outside of this man forever and always being in front of a camera with a proclamation, he has done nothing to make me feel safer, to feel empowered, invigorated, or otherwise want to lead the charge to change anything.
That's deep.
Right? And I feel the same way about most of the aldermen. And I'm not going to say who it was. He's no longer there. But I had a conversation with an alderman years ago, which is one of the reasons I started doing this particular thing. But I said, "Hey, man, you ever been to the Symphony?" He said, "No." I said, "Man, the Symphony, dope. You should go. They just got the new building. New building looks incredible. You should go." Man, I really just feel like that ain't somewhere we belong, so I just don't go.
What?
Black folks attend the Symphony?
Right, me and my daughter went.
Black man says this to me as an alderman of a very predominantly black district. Whether you feel that way or not, it is your job to go and to show them that we are welcome there and that we are supposed to be there.
And if he would have seen a lot of us there.
And I said, "You're the problem. You are perpetuating a stereotype that a community made." And I would say rightfully so, because when you go past the Symphony, if it's not your thing, it ain't a lot of us walking in the door.
True.
So you're going to be like, that probably ain't really for us.
True.
Without any real knowledge.
True.
But as an alderman, it is your job to your constituents to set the tone in the expectation that that space is a space that we're supposed to utilize as one of our entertainment venues.
Yep.
And I was very offended and partially taken aback by it.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay, like one of the things I need to do, one, because it was beneficial to me when I was younger, I was like, I need to make sure that people have access to the Symphony, because clearly the people who should have more pool than I are not. And then I'm thinking, like, what other spaces does that happen in? What other spaces, even if you don't look like us, what if you Jose Perez and you Hispanic?
Right.
Where do you feel like you don't belong? And are you going to Jackson's? Are you going to, or you say, "Oh, that's on the north side of town. I'm not We don't belong over there.
1,700 pull-up.
1,700 pull-up, favorites, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how many aldermen have that same mentality?
I tell you, I ain't seen none of that Treasy funeral.
You know,
there was so many people there. You ain't so many people there.
If you know, I just felt that it should have been some elected officials.
But again, in Squeezy's defense, may he rest in peace. That was my man's.
Right.
Wasn't the mayor there?
No.
But why did it take for that tragedy to happen for people outside of the hood to really understand how much that man loved being here?
And you could just see it.
Like in the hood, like you, if you didn't know Tweezy, I can't even say you from here. Like you didn't have to know him, you didn't have to pull, but if you didn't know that man in some capacity,
correct,
you didn't grow up on the north side, boss.
Yeah.
Like, and so we had to wait for a situation that's already happened at the venue numerous times over the last 20 years to strike. No, I'm not saying it's the venue fault, but it's well, that's
cater to because there's a
there you go. Exactly. There you go. Like if the spot wasn't there, whatever.
Right.
But that's not the conversation. But you with me. But it took a tragedy in at this point, unfortunately, a commonplace tragedy for people to even be like, damn, dog really did love the city.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, I'm living in two worlds, right? On one timeline, I got Tweezy going up. But on another timeline, don't nobody know who bro is. You get what I'm saying?
Younger cats.
Nope. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's another demographic that I deal with heavily who's never even heard of him, never engaged him. Right. So on the same day, I got one timeline that's like, hey, we just did a fundraiser at the foundation for whatever. And on the other side, it's all because that tragedy didn't hit home collectively. It didn't reverberate. And so that in itself is the problem, because even though, okay, this timeline may not have known dog, I know for a fact a couple of y'all probably should have known Buddy just based on whatever nonprofit you work or whatever capacity you're in.
I give you that.
And to have a whole timeline not know and have a whole timeline who's like, damn, I'm like, this is the disconnect right here, is that this man genuinely loved the city, regardless of whatever the fuck else was going on.
Breathed it.
We can bond over the fact that dog wearing the big hats and the shows and mayor and whatever. And I'm like, that to me spoke to the problem, right? Like there are
silos.
The silos, right? And I say this all the time about what I had to make a decision on. And I'm sorry, y'all can.
And I want to use Tweezy's situation to elevate what we're trying to accomplish in the city.
Yeah,
because I think.
Hold on, you speaking French? Who was we?
What you mean? We as in black people.
Black people.
Okay. In the city of Milwaukee, because I think that unfortunately it was a tragedy.
Yes.
But I think him being who he is, love the city. I think it's only right for individuals who know him and individuals that are in positions to bring attention and awareness to a lot of things now, and use his platform and to get these elected officials to understand what they need to do. I mean, I'm not in agreement of none of them being the governor of Wisconsin.
You said you're not agreeing with what now?
I'm not in agreement of
any of them being the governor.
Anybody that's running?
Anyone that's running.
So you come on your side too?
Both sides. You know what I'm saying? I know who I got one I would like to
see
run the state.
Who?
Eric Hovey.
Oh, Jesus.
I like Carly.
Yeah, I know Carly personally. I love him. Good thing, but anybody that's coming from the city of Milwaukee.
Say it, because you about to say what I was going to say.
Don't have an uphill battle.
Very uphill battle.
You shouldn't run. If you're governing to Milwaukee, you shouldn't run. You have no standing.
You have right.
If you are in any federal position,
yeah, no, it ain't even electability. No, it's not statewide electability.
What are you gonna stand on? Milwaukee.
What are you gonna say that you accomplished for the individual?
I know. Yeah, that's what you mean by
electability. Because if you're in Milwaukee, you're gonna have to appeal.
But Milwaukee ain't going to
no. Not even that. Like it's.
How can you say that if you just said that people vote the same alderman in?
Right,
and that's way more like personal.
Right, you're 100. They do vote the same alderman in, but what I'm saying is that you have it's going to split between the black men, right? You got Crowley, Johnson, and then you got Mandela Barnes. Mandela Barnes may have a bigger.
He has
an audience from what he's already done.
He has an audience when he ran when he was lieutenant governor.
Correct.
So he may has a bigger platform that I could see a lot of blacks supporting him compared to Crowley or a Cavalier Johnson, just because of the nature of the city he is right now. So, but
would he be a good candidate?
Would he be a good candidate?
With Barnes?
No. Oh yeah.
Oh, you think Mandela?
Mandela.
See, the only issue I have with
I talked to him briefly. Recently. I think he'll be a okay.
The only thing I have with Barnes is that he didn't have a whole lot of legislative backing behind him to show that legislative,
because he lost by 1%.
No, not about legislative.
You lose by 1%,
bro. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about legislative. I'm talking about when
actual pool and getting
when he was sitting. What bills did you pass? What can you say that
y'all didn't have control of the and y'all didn't have control of the branches of government. It was
correct, but
nor did they want to negotiate with Republicans. You can't say you gonna put a bill. You don't want to negotiate.
They don't know how to negotiate.
Man, come on now. You gotta they negotiate to get the share revenue.
So
but y'all should have did that.
And that was
a negotiation.
And that was correct.
That was a negotiation.
I was like, we'll all agree on that one.
But that was a negotiation. Y'all negotiate, but you stay over here. You don't want to come to the middle and negotiate. You're not going to get that.
But like to my point, only issue I was saying with Barnes is that he didn't have a whole lot of legislative things behind him to say, I ran on this, I passed this bill, I was on this committee when I was in the assembly or it was Senate. I forgot which one he was in.
You said that's the reason he lost?
No.
Yeah.
I think
that was
the reason he lost.
Some of the reason.
1%, man.
And he
lost by 1%.
Yeah,
you know where he didn't go?
We didn't go.
He listened to all those consulting firms and didn't come into the city.
He didn't come back into the city.
He stayed out.
There it is.
Don't get it wrong. He came to
if I was
Infinity Lounge.
If I wasn't.
And I told him right there in Infinity Lounge.
206,
bro, you need to be. Exactly. You need to be in the black community.
There's nobody who said that they're running right now who I feel has anything to hang a hat on.
Nope.
Like for me, Crowley is.
I got two I'm looking at.
I'm like who already announced?
Yeah.
Who?
I got two folks I'm looking at.
Two folks.
Yeah. Sarah Godlewski. Well, she hasn't announced yet. Sarah Godlewski, who's the Secretary of State.
Okay.
Brilliant mind. And I am looking at David Crowley. I just want to see what he's going to run on.
So
but he hasn't announced all the way yet. But
I we kick girls out, men out of girls sports.
This is my position on Crowley potentially announcing or loosely announcing to test the waters to see what the feedback was on it. Given the state of what Milwaukee is,
right,
there is no confidence there to run on. If I'm looking outside of Milwaukee as a state as to what is happening, and you're coming from a state that has poverty, segregation, blah, 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 and we look at what's happened since you've been county executive and what's been fixed or what's improved, there's nothing there. You're gonna argue on what you're gonna do, but there's no like stats to back that up. I'm like, I'm gonna run on this and we're gonna change this and we're gonna do that, but you haven't actually done much to say this is what I've already done.
Right.
It's the concept of a bill.
Similar to like Kamala when she ran
similar to Trump.
No, similar to Kamala when she was running and she said, I'm gonna do this and do this. And they said, well, you vice president.
Right.
You didn't go to Joe and tell Joe that you wanted to do this.
That's a whole nother topic because Trump was the president. Like, are you kidding me?
No. What
you don't remember him being president?
Lisa came up with something.
You don't remember Trump being president?
Yeah, no, I know he's been president. But what are you saying?
And what did Pence do as vice president? What did Pence do as vice president to Trump?
What
do you know the role of the vice president?
What made a new enemy?
I mean, I understand that. You know what I'm saying?
Suddenly the role of vice president means so much. You have so much power once she is it.
No, it doesn't.
No. I'm going up with the conversation.
What is Max doing right now?
She came out.
What is Junior Varsity doing right now?
And said what she was going to do. This. And then they came back and asked her, well, you vice president.
That's not what happened.
It's something that you want to do.
That didn't happen.
What you think happened?
Trump was president. We came out of that. Where were we?
Where?
As a country when Trump was president?
The first time.
We came out of that.
The first time.
The COVID? We was doing well before COVID.
No.
Before?
We was doing all right.
Man, we was doing good. We was COVID. Everybody
because he came off Obama.
Everybody. Okay. Yeah. So what? We're not doing good now?
No.
No, we're not doing good.
Absolutely no.
Y'all feel that? Wait. Hold on. You right? No, wait. Listen. Hold on. So y'all both right, but this is the difference. Your position is right from people who have financial literacy. Stock market's doing well. Size doing well. This is doing well.
My 401k is doing good. Not stock market literacy. My 401k is doing good.
Well, I'm saying
my retirement is doing good.
You have
something that I accept myself up for.
Right, but that's financial literacy, right? Either you have a job that allows you to do that,
right,
or you're, or I'll even go a step further and say outside of financial literacy, you have money to be able to put things, money in places to do. No,
listen,
I know people who ain't got no money to invest in shit.
Listen, but my response isn't based on that. My response is based on he's talking about how he's doing. I look at everything from a community standpoint. I'm no better than the people I'm around. If they're
right, and that's why I said y'all are both right?
Yeah,
y'all have two different. You have two different experiences.
Yeah.
So on his side,
I do my family wise to make sure I understand. So yeah, you said I'm a single voter.
I am a domino effect.
I am a single voter.
Your family.
If my people, but if my people around me, like my cousins, everybody that's around me, I empower and help my cousins that's around me because that's my family environment. So whatever decision I make to go vote for, I'm voting them to help my family out. I understand you say, I look at the people of community, this. Totally get that. Some people look at it like that way. But when it comes to me being able to help my family, it's the financial element to put my position in a financial element to help the people around me within the people. If I don't do that, that's the issue.
You would be the person not to ever vote for any seat for anything.
Why is it?
Because everything is about you and just yours. No. That's a huge issue. No, that's a huge issue amongst our people.
Well, how is that?
That's why we don't have anything. We don't know anything.
That's literally the
So I'm gonna vote. So let's put it like this. So then let's just say we talk about the big beautiful bill. So if that was a vote and I work, right, and I do all this overtime, I'm paying all this money in taxes, they're taking money out of my check for this, I shouldn't vote for that because that's going to hurt other individuals. That's going to help my financial wealth. Are you telling me?
You think you're going to gain an extra dollar?
I'm not supposed to look at it like that.
Right, and I think that's the point. Right? Is you could lose $1 and the community makes 15, or you could make $1 and the community loses 15, and you're going to choose to make it.
Right? Yes.
Yes.
If I got
that's the point. That's our point.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So
that makes no sense. Like
so if it's anything that's pertaining to me, because just like business owners, when they break up for the community, when we talk about paying tax dollars, they use that to make more money for themselves. Just like you said, if I go buy a new car, hold on, wait. If I go buy a new car or a new house,
stop reinvesting.
People are looking at me different because I elevate. But the decision that I made to elevate that benefits myself.
Right. But there's a very clear but. It's a BBL but. It's a again, right? There's a middle to this conversation because I agree with you and I agree with you.
Okay.
On my side, right? I have no kids, no girl, no wife, never divorced, been living my life doing what I want to do. I had a very good run where I was making a good amount of money, right?
Okay.
So I got certain investments that's up $1,500. I got other shit that's up $600. But like most of the things that I put my money into, like, is doing well. But understand, and I'm gonna just do this for the sake of being able to quantify it. At that point, I was doing about $1.50 a year, right?
Okay.
$1.50 a year by myself, I was cool.
Yeah.
But I wasn't out here driving a Maserati.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't out here. Like, I had enough that I could keep my rent paid. I had a couple of dollars to go out to eat, and I could be like, yo, let me stick a couple of dollars somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So to your point, some of the shit he's doing is benefiting the people who have the luxury to either do or have done that at some point.
Correct.
On her side, her community, her experience, her situations, those people haven't had the literacy, let alone the disposable income to do so. Yeah. The way they get that is that you lose $1 so they can get 15. Mm-hmm. You're refusing to lose $1 to help that side, right? Your argument is that your side needs to be more refined and more blah, 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 blah. And the schools need to be this and they need to be that. Mm-hmm. That is correct, right? But it has to be an ebb and flow both ways.
I agree.
Right?
With that.
You losing the dollar, giving them 15, then funds that school system.
Look at Glendale where you came from. So when you look at Glendale where you come from, you look at the municipalities around Milwaukee. It hurt my setting. I get it, Milwaukee. But you look at the people who think like I'm thinking, they live in the municipalities of like Glendale, Wauwatosa. You know what I'm saying? Because they like, okay, if I make this and if I'm making this amount of money within this community, I'm going to make my money. I'm going to make my community.
But this is where we fail.
I agree with that.
But no, people like you get businesses over here, take the money from the people over here, and then you go and stay in these places, and then you call these places over here bad places and bad people. You don't pour into the people over here.
But my business over here, I'm hiring.
But my argument.
I'm not working. Do you make sure any of those people are able to have their own businesses?
Of course.
Do you put them in position to do that?
I do. Yes,
so do you have programs where you listen? Do you have programs for them to pay?
No, it ain't programs.
Do you offer any incentive for
it's like I educate them because I have a consulting firm, a business consulting firm. So I educate them within the business finance. And then now that the Republicans in office, I have the small business administration secretary coming into Wisconsin specifically to talk to Black-owned entrepreneurs.
So how many people have you? How many successors do you have?
So I use what should be successors?
How many people have you put?
My barber, my cousin that do cars. I invested in him. I have multiple investments. I have multiple investments that I.
That's not what I asked you.
I want to take this back. I want to take this back a half step. Hold on. Hold on.
Those are success stories.
Hold on.
We talking about two different things.
I know y'all just don't be fine in the middle. But I be following it. But to take a step back, to your point, I don't think the majority of people who do that are from here, right? Like the majority of people who have business here who speak bad on the community and take the money out were never from the community to begin with. Most of the people that I know who are from the community, who built in the community, are very community positive and very community enrichment.
I'm talking about the people he's saying that are just single issue voters just for them. I'm speaking to those people.
And so for those people, right? And I think this is where we get it confused or we get it misconstrued. When you talk about Glendale, right? Like when you go to Glendale, they do this and they do that and they do this. Understand that them motherfuckers have lived there their entire life.
Mm-hmm.
That is their home. That is their school district. That is they're not moving to the nice neighborhood, nigga. They are the nice neighborhood. So what we do is we move to the nice neighborhood. We don't build the nice neighborhood because we've taught ourselves that that's what
you just gonna put up with the crime and the breaking in the homes, the poor streets and stuff. At a certain point, do you just be like, you know what?
No,
we hired the same alderman get in, the same mayor get in. All this nothing change. At one point, you're gonna make a decision, right?
They're at a certain point.
Single people don't run though.
What you mean?
People don't. So
listen,
listen, there's two things. One, people don't run, absolutely. Yeah. And to be clear, and this is my argument in the same vein, we talk about police and all that shit, but we don't ever speak highly of police to make our kids want to become a police officer or a firefighter. We talk bad about them all day long, but that's not the point. But that's the point.
Right.
The bigger point to the conversation of where's the line? There is no line, right? Exactly. But at a certain point, and this is where I get so upset and so frustrated, is that at a certain point, if there's no line, a stand has to be made to make a line.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we refuse as a community to take a stand.
Mm-hmm.
So I got
like we used to.
So would you say that
like we
the
used
position that Trump he's taking a stand? Would you say that's related to what you said?
It's a stand. It's not one I want to stand beside. Not one I would stand beside.
The yes, he's taking a stand.
Right.
He's taking
a stand.
To the 100% degree.
Yes.
But he's
why Travis, these Travis, why do you keep acting like you don't know that?
No, look.
That's the part. You know what? You would be cool if you had some, if you really like
But no.
Some accountability. Like you I don't believe that you being that naive.
He's taking a stand.
Let me just say this. I'm gonna give it to you.
Okay.
Hitler took a stand.
Hello.
Yeah. Hell of a stand.
That's the stand.
It's not different. Everybody takes a stand. I'm not saying right or wrong. Everybody takes a stand.
Who got one too?
It's just some fall on the right side of history and some fall on the wrong.
Netanyahu got one too.
And sometimes you know before the stand start that it's on the wrong side.
Well, and this is what I'm saying. We take a stand. I take a stand
against white supremacist stance.
I take a stand against abortion. I take
a
stand
the white
for the LTG community. I take a stand on that.
You take a stand on all that. We told you were a hypocrite for all that abortion stuff because you make the babies and leave.
No, I think.
No, you didn't.
You got five. You got 5 kids.
I mean,
Out of wedlock. Out of wedlock. Out of wedlock.
Three of them
didn't have an abortion.
I got 3 of them with me.
What?
I got 3
He's stuck with his gun.
But he still got them out here.
I'm there though. Can't say I'm a deadbeat. Can't say I'm a deadbeat. I'm there.
So whatever the definition is.
I got 3 of my kids and 2 of them are going.
There's somewhere looking at you and saying the same things about you.
Look at you and saying you a nigga. That's like you still a nigga in the bin, bro.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised.
You is not getting no married.
Don't be surprised that you're taking his stance on Trump. Most Trump followers, that's what they do. Black or white, whoever.
And most people that want to follow Democrats do the same thing over and think the things will get better. When you keep doing the same thing, it's insanity. You keep voting and that's insanity. Black people are doing insanity because we keep doing. What have we done? We still marching. Still marching for the same thing we did 40 with Martin Luther King. We doing the exact same thing. So
we're not still marching.
What you mean?
I'm on side with my brother on that one all the way. That is. I'm with you. I'm with you 100% on that one.
We did.
I'm not even saying here. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm with him on that one. All the way.
We are. If someone tell me that we are properly, are we still a
white supremacists taking some people? My brother. That's the problem.
Find a new solution.
Right. That
definitely wasn't to get him.
Look,
no.
Solution. But he's been there just for 4 years. 40 years. Since Martin Luther King, we've been doing the same thing over and over and over.
Tell me, black
just the black community. Not the Hispanic. The Hispanic, you know what they want?
We have made no advances.
No, we can't. No. So we going backwards. We going backwards.
No.
Yes, we are.
No.
Yes, we are.
All right.
Yes, we are.
Great.
We're going back. We're going back.
Comment and subscribe.
Thank y'all.
Before y'all leave
next week, we're going to holler at y'all next week.
I thought you was going to Miami.
Oh, wait.
Wow. Yeah. You don't even know where. You don't even keep on your own schedule.
You going to Miami?
I am going to Miami.
He said he was going to Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago. I'm going to Mar-a-Lago.
We'll see about that.
But Tuesday, I'm supposed to come back Tuesday. So I still
you come back?
You know what?
Round
not going.
Round 3?
Yeah, I am supposed to be back Tuesday.
Okay, round 3?
Yeah, round 3.
Round 3?
I should be good.
Yeah.
Round 3.
Next week, we're coming back. We're going to do some more broken policies, and we're going to even flirt with NPS a little bit.
Yeah, because I want to know why we paying her $500,000.
Oh, God. Okay.
$500,000.
Y'all have